Here comes Hogue right now, like you've never hogued before.
Like I've never hogued before. I don't know about that. I think it's time for a conversation. Steven, can you put the camera on me? Because I think we need to get a little intimate
this is
about
gonna
this
be good.
one. And I don't do this very often, but I want to set a couple ground rules for what's about to be discussed here. Okay, one is, I'm going to take off my Adam Hogue reporter hat for a minute here and talk to you as Adam Hogue, born in the heart of the city. I think it was St. Joseph's Hospital that used to be at the corner of Lincoln and Armitage. Grew up right down the street from there. Okay, lifelong Chicagoan. Grew up a diehard Bears fan. All right.
Great area, Lincoln and Armitage. Love it.
River Shannon, right there on the corner.
Yep,
My mom walked home from the hospital.
Should have stopped at the oven
Actually,
grinder.
no, the story is she walked to the hospital while she was in labor.
Should have stopped at the oven grinder.
Okay. Oven grinder's right there. Been there. A lot of great places. The original Rinaldi's. So many. We're in the heart of the city here. Okay.
Right.
Chicagoan Bears fan coming at you right now. I also want to make sure that everyone understands I am talking to maybe 5% of the fan base right now. Okay. But it is a percentage of the fan base that's making everyone else look like morons. Okay. You got to stop this. So this morning, I wake up and I do what I was very excited to do this morning and turn on the golf. Players Championships on this week. Love this tournament. The fifth major. It's one of the best ones, okay? You guys know I love golf. I turn it on. I got it on while I'm eating my yogurt and some berries, a little granola in there too.
Wow.
Yeah. Good start to the morning.
Good health.
And this pops up on my TV as I'm watching. Caleb Williams is standing there. Caleb Williams, who's been training in the Jacksonville area, taking some time this morning, some time off from hard pre-draft training, getting ready for his pro day.
Right.
Great move by Caleb. I love this. I also love that the quarterback the Bears are most likely going to draft and add to their roster is already this big celebrity. They're showing him following Roy McIlroy, and that wasn't his only appearance on TV. Like, this is a big deal that Caleb Williams, this guy that everybody should be excited about, is there at this tournament. So I tweet this out. I go take a shower. I get in my car, head down here. And I realize as this 5%, let's call it that. I don't really know what it is, but it's definitely like this very vocal minority of the Bears fan base.
14%.
Okay, 14%. Let's call it that. Handling this how I probably should have known better here. Would have handled this. So let's mention Wayne Whitlock here on Twitter.
The Whitlock.
Yeah. I have no problem with him attending this tournament, but when the Bears are literally waiting around for him to meet with them and give them his medicals, this is a turnoff. Priorities? Okay. So, Wayne, you do have a problem with him being at the golf tournament, and you're just annoyed he's at the golf tournament and not talking to your team, even though you really don't want him. Weird response.
Caleb Williams failed Wayne Whitlock.
Yeah. And if you don't, again,
Probably
I think
hit up Jason Whitlock for that take.
Point out again, he's in Jacksonville. He's training in Jacksonville. He took some of his time. Maybe this is a day off for him. Believe it or not, these guys training for the draft have days off built in. Maybe that happens to be this morning. God forbid he goes to a golf tournament.
There's also 24 hours in the day. Keep going.
Let's talk to at YouBetWhat, okay, on Twitter. You say he is training. I've never seen a picture or video of him training or working out. Biggest workout of his life is March 20th. He's hanging at a golf course? Not impressed with the stock down emoji attached to this. Boy, there's some heavy shut up and dribble energy going on right there in that.
I mean, hey, God forbid that you work out and don't document it for social media. You know, I mean, you can do that.
Right.
Coming from someone that has taken a few selfies at a gym in his day.
What? Including this morning. At Sharif 3AJ. Damn, I thought he had to focus on his pro day. LMAO. Okay, again, God forbid he does something other than train. So I want to now highlight this tweet from David Young who we won't go off the rails with his Twitter handle. We'll just say, because he brings up a great point. He says, Hogue, what happened to Bears fans? I have never in my life watched a fan base falsely try and destroy the character this much of a player who they will be drafting. It's sickening and making us look even more of a laughingstock of a fan base, which is 100% true. You can like Justin Fields. You can want them to keep Justin Fields. But this character assassination of Caleb Williams is so beneath you.
It's not.
But it should be.
Okay.
And this idea that Twitter is just a cesspool, which it is, should not be an excuse for what you're still doing out there. Because the reality is, we can make fun of Twitter all we want. We still spend time on it. It's still a reflection of the fan base. And these idiots on Twitter are making the entire fan base look dumb. And we hear it at the Super Bowl. We hear it at the Combine. When we talk to other media members, what they're putting up with from these Bears fans on a daily basis. And it's I honestly think that these fans think if they tear him down, they're going to convince him that he doesn't want to be a Bear and he's going to try to get out of being a Bear. I think they actually think that. I think they do. And I think that this is their motivation for doing this. But this isn't the only thing I wanted to point out there. This is not just Caleb versus Justin, because there's been a lot of this too. So this is a different topic, but still part of my point. Okay? There's this tweet from Michael Snyder I got. I think we actually have this one to throw on the screen. It says, I am infuriated with how soft Chicago sports media is. They will never criticize the GM as long as he is better than the previous one. That's the standard here with @Adam Hogue. Just be better than the last guy, and we will blindly support and defend you. Be objective, CHGO Sports. This was in response to the video we put out yesterday in which I went through the history of me covering this team with free agency and why being patient in free agency usually pays off. So instead of just, taking that for what it is, my history of covering this team, this guy Michael needs to come out and call the whole sports media soft, saying we never criticize the GM. Michael apparently has a podcast, so let me give you some advice as somebody who hosts 2 Bears podcasts, okay? Let's actually have some knowledge before we go off on the media like this. So here's some knowledge.
Woo!
Here's some knowledge you could actually have to share on your podcast if you want to use it. First of all, in terms of us never criticizing Ryan Poles, this show has killed Ryan Poles for the Chase Claypool trade more than any other show out there, okay? We were critical of the Velus Jones draft pick the moment it happened, literally. Go look it up. Go find that draft show. The second that draft pick was made, we were critical of it. We said it didn't make any sense. We have criticized the moves that haven't worked out, and we will continue to do so. That is actually what being objective is, if you want to know what objectivity is. All right? If you wanted the Bears to go out and spend a bunch of money on Danielle Hunter, just say that. You can make that argument. It's a decent argument. We did it on this show yesterday, had you been watching. Braggs wanted them to make that signing, spend that money. I was okay with them not doing it. We had a nice conversation about that. You can do that if that's what this is about without going off and being an idiot on Twitter, bringing everybody else down with the negativity that the whole Chicago media is soft and doesn't know what they're talking about. Here's the reality for everybody saying that the Bears are not spending money, all right? Since Ryan Poles traded a second-round pick for Montez Sweat and signed him to a $98 million contract, Ryan Poles has handed out $237.75 million in contracts since November. Also gave up a second-round pick and a fifth-round pick. Money and draft capital. So you're saying he's doing nothing and he's being cheap? You don't know what you're talking about, and you haven't been paying attention to what's really been going on, as this guy in 2 years has completely reset the roster, cleaned up a horrible mess that was left for him, getting rid of an awful cap situation and turning it into one of the best that exists in the NFL today. He pulled off an all-time heist to not only give the Bears access to one of the most talented quarterbacks that has ever come in the NFL draft, who happens to be at a golf tournament this morning that everyone wants to tear him down for enjoying some time in his life. Oh, and by the way, they also have the number 9 pick 8 picks later after that.
Got a little lucky getting number 1, but this is one of the best Hogue moments in Hogue history.
So just stop being dumb. Again, I'm talking to a very small percentage of this fan base, but you're making everyone else look stupid to the rest of the world. Just stop it. It's beyond idiotic.
I feel like Hogue history could be a new thing. That was great.
Man.
You feel better?
I do.
Okay, good.
We all silly like the mayor.